Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Four Horsemen Studios Mythic Legions Gold Skeleton 2. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging. And here on the top, mythiclegions.com. So some URLs up there. Some nice background artwork going on. The Four Horsemen Studios logo that they use with Mythic Legions. Nice big blister showcasing the figure and accessories. Shows that he is with Necronominus. Mythic Legions. On this side, nothing much going on there. A nice product shot there. Gold Skeleton 2. And if you want to read all that stuff, please pause it right here and read away. And then moving right along, on the bottom, some small fine legalese print made in China print. Warning! Don't stick things in your pie hole if they don't belong there. And don't give it to babies. And then some other warnings and stuff over here. A barcode on the back. Just some artwork or something that's a city that's under siege or fixing to be under siege or smoky. Something going on here. And then here's the cross sale, of course, with no names. And then here's that Four Horsemen logo again. There's a lot of text right here. If you want to pause it so that you can read that stuff, please feel free to do so. And then moving right along, here's some more text that you can pause it right here and read if you desire. And then moving right along, here's some credits. And again, if you want to pause it here and look at all that stuff, you can do so. And then here it says, to see the entire collection, please visit mythiclegions.com. And that, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And let's begin with his spear, which is a deep gold color on the tip, and then maybe a lesser gold or a lighter gold for the shaft. And this is a piece that we have seen in the line before. It's kind of, for a long time, it's been what I like to call the standard spear of the line. And, there's nothing wrong with that. It looks good. It's, a shaft with a pointy thing on the end of it, and that's a spear. Next up is his sword, and again, this is a piece that we have seen in the line before. I think my first experience with it was Thorasis, the First Risen. And, it's just a badass looking sword. Gold, and then it's got some pops of color here, and for the handle, and then gold again for the pommel. And a little bit of a lighter gold here for the handguard, but very cool looking. Next up, we have the C-clip for his shield. It's got a post in it here, and it's a C-clip, and it's silver instead of gold like everything else with this guy. But, not like you're going to see this piece anyway, more than likely. And then here is the piece I like to call the standard shield handle. And again, it is in gold, but it's a bit darker. Or maybe it's got a wash on it that the other pieces don't have, or more wash on it. But nice molded details down there in the handle part, and then port here for the post on the shield. And we'll get to how that works when we get to the shield. Next up, we have handy dandy tweezers here to help us take a look at some of the smaller parts. So he comes 1, 2, 3, 4 extra sets of hands, 2 armored, 2 bones, and an extra set of feet. So let's start with the hands. So he's got a set of armored grip hands on up and down hinges. Nice molded detail in there. It's got a bit of a wash on it as well. So there's that one. Here's the other one. And then the other set of armored hands, which are again grip hands, but these are on in and out hinges. Then we've got 2 sets of skeleton hands, and we've got like the grasping, reaching hands. They're on in and out hinges, and again a base gold with, it looks like maybe a black wash on it. So very nice. And the last set of hands are grip hands, skeleton grip hands on an up and down hinge. And then here is the opposite side. Nice molded and bony details. Gold base color, and it looks like, to me, a black wash. It might not be black, it might be a different color, but to me it looks black. And that brings us to the extra set of feet, which are skeleton feet because the figure has armored feet on it. It's got a post in the bottom. Nice sculpted details, looks very skeleton like. And you know, it's got a pin for rocker in there, and it's hinged. And again, that gold base with a black wash on it that looks like. Alright, let's see what's next. We have this piece that plugs into his back with this rectangular piece right here, and it's got 2 ports in it right here, which I'm guessing are for the wings. I've had this piece come with several figures and nothing to really go along with it, so we'll figure out right now whether it's well, not right now, but we'll figure out in this review if that's where the wings go or not. And I'm pretty sure that is where the wings go. Now here's 2 joint pieces that are still a mystery to me. I'm not sure where these go. They don't really fit here. They will fit in the standard behind the shoulder ports, but I don't know what they're for unless they're for extra arms maybe, which this guy doesn't come with. But you know, small pig here, big pig here, and a joint here, and there are 2 of those. And again, base gold with a black wash on it, it looks like. Now we have his shoulder armor. And again, gold. It's got a wash on it. It's got some nice details in it. Nothing we haven't seen in this line before. We have seen this piece in the line before. There's the post to put it on the figure. And this one is the same, just the opposite side. So very cool, very cool. Now we have an alternate faceplate for the helmet, and it just, you know, it pegs in right here. The other one unpegs there on the sides of the head, and then you just pop this one on. It's got a little bit of a burr right there. It's got a cross in it right here. It's got some holes in it right here. It's seen some battle. It's got some scratches and stuff on it. And again, that nice base gold color, and then a wash on it, it looks like. Also, it looks like there's maybe a bit of a dry brush around the edge here. So, and then, you know, it goes all the way around, and this chain looking piece right there. So that's nice that you have options. He does come with an alternate just skeleton head, and again, it's got a nice base gold color and a black wash on it. Deep, you know, the recesses for the eye holes are very deep looking, as well as the one for the nose. It does have a hinged jaw, so that is excellent. And a ball port right there for it to fit on the neck peg. Yeah. So very cool. Again, it is nice to have options. Here's the one piece of soft goods that comes with the figure. It's like a scarf kind of piece, and it is wired, and you know, it looks like a scarf piece. And we'll see how this looks on the figure. I haven't decided whether I'm going to use this on him in display or not, but you know, nicely done little piece. Now let's take a look at his shield. And we've seen this shield bunches of times now. It's got these nice runes around the edges, and they're in gold, but it's got like a blue with a rough texture behind it, or around it, I guess. And if that's not blue, I do apologize. I am colorblind, so don't make fun of handicapped people. Some nice gold around the edges, silver in the middle, or for the main middle section, and then gold and a paler gold, more yellow gold on this outside edge, and then a paler gold. And there's a little bit of paint slop on mine. Yours may differ. Silver on the inside, and there's the post. And the way those work with the handle or the C-clip is it just goes on that post, and same for the handle. All right, and moving right along, here we have the wings, and they're hinged here, and they're also hinged here, so we get that movement, and then this will go in and out, and it'll also twist on that peg once we get them into position. I may have to heat these up though. I don't want to move. And then same thing with this one, and then you can see it's molded in kind of a more translucent gold color, or at least this part is. This part is too. So more translucent-y plastic. You can kind of see my hand there behind it, and then it's got a bit of a wash, not a wash, a dry brush on it, and it's like a yellowish gold, and it gets heavier, you know, up here, and then there might be a little bit of black wash in these parts up here as well, and same thing on the back side. A little bit more of the black wash on the back side and down the tips here. A little bit more gold on it as well, it looks like. So very, very nice looking piece. We'll see how they do on the figure when we get that far with it. Now let's take a look at the skeleton himself, and he is gold, befitting the name Gold Skeleton. So apparently these guys used to be angels, and then they were resurrected by the evil magic of Necronominus to be warriors in his evil legion of death. But very nice on the skull. The eye recesses, even though they're probably sculpted just as deep as the other ones, I don't think the wash is really back there in the eye sockets on this one as much, so they don't look quite as deep. And the same for the nose, but overall it looks really good. And here you can see like a standard face plate, and it does come down. It moves up and down. And this one is a little bit more silvery around the perimeter than the other one. The other one is, I guess it's silver, but it's more faded out. So there is that. The flaps of the helmet do kind of come out a little far, I think. But you can push them in. They're real soft plastic. You can push them in and move the helmet, the face plate down a little more. And then that, you know, that tightens the look up a little bit. But yeah, that base gold color, it's got like a black wash on it. It's got some points of color for the rivets and some of this detail up here in the chest armor. Rivets here, on the back lower pieces as well. Nice sculpted detail in here and in here. Some nice silver for the chainmail here. You know, it stands out because, you know, it's silver instead of gold. Kind of like these rivets, silver. The buckle for the belt. The belts themselves, because they're kind of a light black or a dark brown. And I think they're leaning more toward the dark brown. And again, it's got some rivets there on the end there. And then pretty much everything is the same below the waist. We've got, you know, silver and gold and a wash and some browns. Even though it's very kind of monochromatic, it's very striking. And I like the helmet up, or the faceplate up. Let me just take it off, but then that would leave holes in the helmet, wouldn't it? So let's talk about his articulation, or let's take a look at his articulation real quick. So at the head, he can look up about that far. He looks down that far. No chicken neck, because it's just a straight neck with a ball peg, no joint in there. So, but he does get a little bit of waggle in there. Actually, he's got a lot of waggle in there. And then he can do the full exorcist. The neck piece will move around with the head as well. So that's just something to be aware of. At the shoulder, 360 degrees worth of rotation. And he can raise his arm up way past 90 degrees. Single hinge and swivel at the elbow, swivels around 360 degrees and gives you, well, approximately 90 degrees worth of bend. Then at the end of the gauntlet, it's a rotation, and at the wrist there's a rotation. And these skeleton hands are on in and out hinges, and it's in and out on the other side too. Then we've got like a ball joint at the waist, and it gives him hula, and it gives him 360 degrees of rotation. He can lean left and right a bit. He can lean back slightly, and he can crunch forward that far, which, you know, pretty much basic Mythic Legion's range of movement for an armored dude. At the thighs, let's see if I can, yeah, there we go. So he can give you the full splits. And there are some, well, it feels like detents in there, so I'm assuming that's what they are. He can kick forward that high, so wow, that is crazy. He's trying out for the Rockettes. He can kick back that far. There's no rotation up here at the thigh. There is a single hinge and swivel at the knee, swivels around 360 degrees, and wow. Gives you way past 90 degrees worth of bend there. And then at the ankle, rotates around 360 degrees right above the ankle, tilts down that far, tilts up that far, and then he does have a pin for rocker. So alright, my friends, as normal in a Mythic Legions video, I will be back momentarily with him all geared up, or at least as much gear on him as I can get. And we are back, my friends. Here we have the golden skeleton all decked out, at least as much as possible. The wings do add a bit of heft to the back of the figure, so you have to adjust legs and ankles, knees, and that kind of stuff appropriately. But that's everything except for like the extra hands, the feet, the extra head, the face shield, and the C-clip for the shield. The sword is in its strap on his back, shield and spear in his hand, and his scarf piece around his neck. But I may have to fiddle with that a little bit. Well, there you have it, my friends. A look at the figure, his accessories, and storage. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Four Horsemen Studios Mythic Legions Gold Skeleton 2 with the Four Horsemen Studios Mythic Legions Aza Spirit Bender 2 and the Four Horsemen Studios Mythic Legions Kai Pacha. Here we have the Four Horsemen Studios Mythic Legions Gold Skeleton 2. With from Harbinger Studios Savage Crucible, Who-Man. From Boss Fight Studios Epic Hacks, Red Sonja. And from X-Ray Studios, Combatants Fight for Glory, Gold Hilder. For our last set of comparisons, here we have the Four Horsemen Studios Mythic Legions Gold Skeleton 2, with from the Marvel Legends series making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final ramblings on the Four Horsemen Studios Mythic Legions Gold Skeleton 2, I thought from the photos and stuff this guy looked really, really cool. And he does look really, really cool. However, I wasn't exactly sure how the wings worked, and I wasn't exactly sure I was going to like them. But after having this figure in hand, it is a great figure and a very fitting entry for the army of Necronominus, or the congregation of, is it the congregation? I forget. But anyway, in Necronominus's Legion of Doom for everyone. And I really like it. I think it's fitting. And I know this is the second version of Gold Skeleton, but I don't think the first version had wings. I think it was just a gold armored skeleton. And, you know, that's cool too. And you could very likely, you know, or you very much could use this figure without the wings if you wanted to. But I think it just adds that much more to it, as this guy was an angel. And, you know, he was... he didn't make it out of the first Great War. And because of that, the magic of Necronominus was able to resurrect him as a powerful ally for evil. And I really like this. I'm still not 100% sure about the scarf. I don't think it'll work well in vanilla posing, but in action poses, flight poses, I think it will work very well. And I like the weapons this guy comes with, and I could really see people, you know, using this guy for some army building. I can't do that, but fortunately I have a green screen, so that I can build all the army I want for photography. But I really dig this guy. You know, I know it's just, hey, it's gold, it's got a wash on it, but he's really cool looking, I think. And, you know, just, you know, the story that goes along with it, I think it's really cool too. And I really like this guy. I enjoyed reviewing him, and I really like finally finding out that back piece is for the wings, like I was guessing. However, the other hinged pieces, I'm not sure what they're for, unless, of course, like I said before, it's like for Okatos, whatever his name is, the Spydor guy, not Spydor, web store guy that has multiple arms. Maybe that's what they're for. I'm, again, not 100% sure. Maybe I'll eventually get a figure that has extra arms, and I will find out that is what they're for. And I hope that I do. And maybe I will get Okatos, because he's not full price at most places. And he's kind of cool looking too. But this guy just, you know, the three that I picked up out of this wave, the Ashes of Agbendor, whatever, the library, are really cool. I like Aza, Kaipacha, and Gold Skeleton. I think were, you know, of course, I think they were the top out of that wave, because those are the three that I really wanted, and I feel like they are. But I feel like, you know, I maybe should have got a couple more of them, but unfortunately they reduced production on this wave and the Rising Suns wave, and so there wasn't enough open stuff outside of pre-orders and things that got made, apparently. I am hoping there will be an in-stock sale on Store Horseman when they finish up with the con season, and maybe I'll be able to get a hold of some figures I missed out of Rising Sun. And maybe I won't, but if that's the case, I'll probably just not have them, because the secondary market price is just they're too steep for these guys. For me, they got me with Legendary Barbarian on secondary market, and not something I'm looking to see repeating. But I do think I got the cream of the crop, so to speak, out of that wave. Although the Centaur, wasn't there a Dark Centaur or something in this wave too, I think. He looks pretty cool too. But it is what it are, and it are what it be. But I think this guy poses out well, especially if you have a stand that you can, you know, put him up off the ground with, or maybe some fishing line or something like that, just to give him some flying options. But yeah, I really like this guy, and I am glad I was able to pick it up. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's our wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.